Hi, dear friends. Would you believe me that I was able to save money even when I was living on a way below the average budget? And I still enjoyed life to the fullest. Can you imagine being able to travel almost without money and have accommodation without having to pay for it? Or eat healthy and luxurious food without actually buying it? I confidently claim that all of this is possible and applicable to both traveling and everyday life because I've done it myself. In this video, I'll share 5 practical and easy tips on how you can be frugal without limiting your joys. And I promise they're all fun, mostly free or at low cost and sustainable. So come along. Tip number 1. Feast on a budget. If you're in a developed country where garbage gets recycled and sorted out, you might want to pay a visit to the dumpster. Big supermarkets have strict regulations and policies to discard food, and oftentimes it's not only edible, but also quite expensive. In my country, when products are approaching the best before end date, or if they have been damaged in a way, they're usually on sale. In some countries, I've seen specialized stores where they only sell these kinds of products for a really low price. But in developed countries, supermarkets are obliged to discard them in a special container. And it's perfectly natural to just go there and help yourself. Many people do that. My friend and I found precious things when we were dumpster diving in Denmark, like sushi, rice flour, Asian spices, heaps of fruits and vegetables, French cheeses, etc. Some supermarkets have these containers locked, but many don't. Another way to eat royale for free is to go to the restaurants just before they close and politely ask for the food they're about to discard. Most of the restaurants are obliged to do so due to regulations, and I'm sure they'd rather give the food away than dump it. I know that this requires courage, good communication skills, and jumping way out of your comfort zone, but it's an option. I myself have done it many times when I was backpacking and I never got a refusal. And if you care about sustainability and food waste, then you'd exercise what you preach. Now, I know that these 2 methods are hardcore and a lot of people wouldn't dare trying them. But don't worry, saving money on food is easier than you think. It only requires determination to dedicate time and space to cook. Disclaimer: microwaving both meals is not considered cooking. Easier said than done, I know. But that way, you'd not only save a lot, but you'd also eat healthier. And eating healthy contributes to feeling better, both physically and mentally. To me, it sounds like this is very much worth it. By regularly documenting my finances, I discovered that I save a lot by cooking. If my partner and I go out to eat, that's because there is something special on the menu that either requires a lot of time to do, or it requires some ingredients that are hard to find or you cannot find here. We do this once or twice per month, and we found out that the less we eat in restaurants, the more we appreciate when we go there. Tip number 2. Dress for less. I was surprised to learn about secondhand stores because when I was a teenager, we just didn't have them in Macedonia. It would be an interesting discussion to learn why secondhand and thrift stores are less likely to be present in developing countries. But anyway, you can find all kinds of clothing for very cheap money. Sometimes they sell it on a kilo. Oftentimes they also sell new branded clothes, which either have some tiny irregularity or they're from the last season. It's really crazy to think how much clothes are dumped in a year. Again, if you care about sustainable fashion, you don't have to buy fancy and expensive pieces of clothing with an eco label. Just go to a second-hand store. There are other ways of how you can save on clothes. I have a friend that organizes clothes swap party. There is only one rule: no clothes shall be left at the end. Also, there are a lot of Facebook or Instagram groups, apps, and communities where you either buy clothes for very cheap money, swap items, or even get them for free. One thing that I'd mention is that often the access to more clothes for no money creates another layer of the problem of the clothing industry. You might think you need something that you actually don't. And you would be surprised how easy it is to get into this trap, even for people that feel strongly about sustainable fashion. Tip number 3. Party in the outdoors. Festivals and clubs can be very expensive. You often need an entrance ticket and drinks can be ridiculously expensive. If you wish to save money but still have a great time out, explore events in the open. You'd be surprised how many of them there are, especially this time of the year. Or just buy beer from the shop and meet friends in the park. Or cook something simple and invite friends over for dinner and tell them to bring drinks. If you want to dance, you can dance anywhere. I find it much more fun to hang out this way, even if I don't necessarily want to save money on going out. You'll have greater conversations, get much closer to people, and feel much better. And if you really like festivals, you can always sign up to volunteer. Yes, you wouldn't have the whole time to enjoy it, but think about it this way. If it's a festival that you love, you'll contribute to its cause by helping out. Tip number 4. Use traveling resources. I'm sure you've heard about carpooling or whatever it is called in your country. There are also lots of Facebook groups, apps, and communities where you can either offer a ride or buy one. In any case, you'll pay much less than driving yourself, and you'll get a chance to meet new people. Also, in some countries, the public transport is very reliable. Use it to your own benefit. Not only to travel to work, but also to another country. Don't you just love to sit in a train and read a book or meet someone new? Alright, it's not always a pleasant experience, but you do sometimes need to make some sacrifice in order to save money. When I was backpacking for 6 months in South America, I met people who went overseas sailing for free. You wonder how? Well, they signed up to join a volunteer crew and take a few shifts of driving the boat or help with the ship's chores in exchange for a place to sleep and ride. Oftentimes, you don't need to have even an experience. Besides all of this, don't let me even get started with hitchhiking. I hitchhiked a lot in my life, and have I not done that, I wouldn't have been able to visit as many countries as I have. However, please be cautious. Tip number 5. Find deals on cultural events. If you love culture and the arts as I do, then this one's for you. You can watch a Broadway show, go to the opera in Vienna, or go to a concert for almost no money. Explore deals on the internet. Usually, they require that you wait in a huge row, or that you stand instead of sit, or that you are in a less attractive area of the hall. But all of this is well worth it. The value you get is much more than what you would have to give. Also, explore Facebook groups or apps that sell last-minute tickets, or just appear in front of the hall with a poster that says that you're buying last-minute tickets, and you'd be surprised how many people will approach you. I saw young people do this in front of the Vienna Philharmonic for the New Year's concert, an event for which you'd need to book years in advance, let alone the high prices. Similarly, in my country, if you wait in front of the opera or Philharmonic until everyone gets in, they usually let you in for free in case there are available seats. Looks better for them, and it's definitely better for you. I promised 5 tips, even though I can instantly think of 2 more. The point is, there's so many resources, especially nowadays with the development of technology and social media. The only 2 things required to save money are dedicated time and resourcefulness, and both are for free. Even though I was doing this in the past because I had no other choice, it truly shaped my character and brought me many unforgettable memories and inspiring friendships. Now I still do most of these things, even though I don't necessarily have to. Let me know what you do to be frugal and how that shapes your quality of life. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye! Dobro? Ova го дадов само од себе на крај. Треба сега само да се вратам назад по tip number 5. И дали ќе снимаме на друго место? Не знам кај ме текстот.